Just a phase.
Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase. Just a phase, 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 just a
called Just a Phase.
Just a phase, just a phase, just a phase, just a phase, just a phase.
Pause already.
Just a phase.
All right, we're transitioning. 1 2 1 2. Hopefully the mic is coming through. Gonna do a quick check here. Yep,
We sounding good?
we should be good. All right, it's Just a Phaze podcast. I am back from a long hiatus, and I am with my friend Ease, who is wearing very controversial shorts.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, what can I do, right? I'm on a controversial podcast, so I might as well just keep up the gimmick.
Yeah, you got to. You have to show thighs sometimes.
I gotta show thighs, bro. I gotta keep them talking, man. Whether it's good or bad, as long as they talking, they talk. You know what I mean? That's good for me. More promo.
Yeah, man. So you are probably one of the few people to be on a large or whatever middle-sized podcast. Large. It's pretty large for our area, right?
Yeah, definitely large in the local area, but we are definitely
Probably the largest in the area.
Definitely, yeah, in the area for sure. Definitely the largest, but we are pretty popular, honestly, because when we go out of state.
Yeah.
You know,
Before you get into all that, tell them who you are, what podcast you're on, what you do, everything. Give them the rundown.
Yeah, my name is Ease. I'm the co-host on the No Fugazee Podcast with Cooley. I started doing a podcast with Cooley about 2 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Definitely 2 years ago. Excuse me. So how I got on the podcast, Cooley hit me up. Matter of fact, no.
Short story. Very short story.
Honestly, no. I take that back. Me and Cooley known each other since we were 19. I'm 36. So we were always good friends. And on Facebook, I saw that he posted a video with him on the podcast. And I was like, yo, this is dope. So
he was doing a solo back then.
Doing a solo. So I messaged him like, yo, this is dope. Like, I watch podcasts about dating and relationships all the time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I would love to be on it. He said, yeah, for sure. Come on. So I came on. We did a good episode. You know, it went well. And he was like, yo, you know, he was like, later on, he was like, yo, I want you to, you know, be a co-host on the podcast because, you know what you're talking about. You know, the viewpoints, and we had like the same viewpoints, and you know the stats, and you know the lingo. And at the time, I was like, yo, I can't because, you know, my work wasn't compatible with the schedule.
Yeah. Watch the cord, though, too. Mr. Professional Podcast.
Yeah. I was telling him that I couldn't be the co-host because my schedule at the time wasn't compatible for when he goes live.
Right.
So, but I did tell him, I said, hey, whenever I have the day off, I'll definitely come on because he was going live at night and I was working second shift at that time. So once I switched shifts and switched jobs, I was able to be on the podcast consistently.
Sure. How you've been enjoying it?
So it's fun because I would go to the podcast when I could, and I would just go there just to have fun and, you know, be around girls. Really, I didn't really, yeah, because I didn't really care about being on camera, and sometimes I would be working the switchboard.
Sure.
So I'd be in the back, I'll be behind the scenes working the cameras for him. You know what I'm saying? So I really just wanted to be there because I thought it was fun. I didn't really care too much about being on camera, honestly. But if I ever got the opportunity to be on camera, I was down. Yeah,
it's interesting because I started podcasting in like 2014.
Yeah. You were doing it before it was even popular or cool to do.
Yeah. I started with my buddy Rel, and we started talking about podcasts, the Black Guy White Guy podcast. And I would just do it from the laptop webcam back then.
Yeah.
I would just
but you also had a nice setup too.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, I learned how to do everything.
Yeah, you had a nice setup.
But yeah, then I did the one with my cousin, just where we were just talking shit. I think you were on one time.
Yes, I did. I was on one time. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but even then, more towards your arena.
Yeah.
I used to be into or listen to your sphere of the internet too back then, the
manosphere.
initial manosphere,
Right.
and I was intaking information about whatever they're talking about, dating, life, relationships. They got into religion back in the day. There was also the MGTOW movement, which is not so much anymore.
So those that don't know what MGTOW is, MGTOW stands for men going their own way.
Right.
So MGTOW is basically,
that doesn't mean gay. Now
it doesn't. It doesn't mean gay. It just means men refuse to deal with women or date with women on any level.
They're just gonna be like a monk in the woods.
Exactly. For those that don't know what MGTOW is. But at that time, I was not watching those type of content when you were doing your podcast.
I was first just starting to get into that online sphere and listening to everything, and just trying to 10-12 years ago I was a much younger man also. I was not married, and I was trying to listen to guys with more experience in relationships and older than me for not necessarily advice, but their perspective on things and how things work. And there was a lot of information that I wasn't necessarily told. Like, we didn't get the birds. We got the birds and the bees as kids, but like that was about it. Our parents were kind of like hands off with like how to maintain a relationship and like what you should be doing or what your partner should be doing, and how to have a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
So there was a lot of information that they did have, and I never got into the pickup artist sphere, even though that was big too, and it's big all over again now a little bit.
Yeah. So at that time, I wasn't even watching that kind of content at all. But just like you said, like, I didn't know how to deal with women. I didn't understand women. My dad always told me, look good, smell good. When you go out with a woman, make sure you pay. If you don't have money, don't go out.
Like basic gentleman
stuff. Be respectful. Don't chase. He made sure to do that. Don't chase. And back then he used to always tell me never get married. So, but if you're married, then congrats.
Yeah, that's kind of real. Like, I don't know how old your dad is.
Like 60s.
Okay, so he's a baby boomer.
I guess. I would assume. Yeah.
So if he's in his 60s, my dad's like the first year of Gen X.
Okay.
And he's 60 now. So if your dad's older than 60, he's a baby boomer.
Yeah, he's definitely older than 60 for sure. Yeah.
So I feel like my dad too is kind of, his attitude towards women and life in general is very Gen X, but he has boomer tendencies also, and people who know. It's very like, I don't know a better word to say it, but it's very like clueless. Like, they grew up in a time where that is completely different from today as everything goes, really.
Right.
And especially when it comes to modern women, I feel like they got really not brainwashed, but they were on like the easy escalator.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, because their parents also stayed together their entire lives, and then
that was that era.
Yeah.
Women back then were completely different compared to the women now. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, those marriages lasted so long, besides, love, but also because of
laws were different, and attitudes towards commitment were also different.
Yeah. People respected relationships. Women held other women accountable. Like, if you weren't married with kids back then, like, they looked at you like as if something was wrong with you, because it's a great thing to have kids in a family. You know what I mean? And now that's not praised as much.
Right.
What's praised is women being independent and having a job and holding off on marriage and kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just also, women did work back then, but most women stayed home.
Sure.
Which also affected the pricing of houses, because men worked and most women didn't work, and if they did, they didn't have like high paying jobs.
Right.
So that's why houses were cheaper, because at that time the household was dependent on one income. Now that we have women working,
yeah, it halved the income essentially.
Yeah, which raised the price, which raised the cost of living, because not only do you have a husband that's making $80,000 a year, now you got the wife making $80,000 a year, which doubled the price of houses.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So times are just way different now, compared to back then.
Right. Yeah. It was a lot of things. You could, like you said, you could support a family, a guy, a milkman.
Right. Or for one income.
Right. Take care of a whole family off milk delivery. And that doesn't exist anymore, which snowballs because most of the jobs now we don't have many like factories where you're actually like building things,
right.
Or you're not in a steel mill.
Exactly.
You're not in a coal mine. I mean, some of those things exist in pockets.
Right. But not as much because we have technology now.
Right.
Which is a wonderful thing. It makes everything easier, but a lot of people lost jobs.
It makes a lot of things a lot harder too.
It's a give and take, yeah.
So, yeah, it just snowballs from there. And then when an office job is the job to have because it's more white collar, it's a larger salary, and then you're competing with that, and most men don't want to be in that environment.
The white collar environment?
Yeah, most.
Okay.
Guys want to work with their hands. They want to do things that are labor intensive,
right.
Or
if
it's an office job, it's more so like, lawyering. It's not like making spreadsheets. It's not
right.
call center. Even though I did work in a call center, it's not necessarily call center, even though that's going away now too.
A lot of paperwork.
So yeah.
Meetings, calls, deals.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So then when you're not making as much, it makes the dynamic of relationships also different because of the income, either parity or non-parity, I guess. One leaning higher than the other. Yeah,
once women started working and making their own money, it affected the dating scene a lot, and I think a lot of people aren't realizing that.
Yeah, no, it affects people's attitudes in general.
Too.
And
too.
People get a misconception about what you guys do too, because there's, people go off of clips and get the outrage, clickbait. That's the thing that gets clicks.
What do you think is one of the misconceptions, the most popular misconceptions that we get?
Well, I just think a lot of women don't like your type of content because it's mean.
Yeah, we definitely do get that.
Or confrontational.
And honestly, like, we ask questions and we want these girls' opinions, and whatever they say, we respond to. So we go based off what their genuine opinion is. We don't have a script and tell them, hey, you say this dumb stuff, and we will rebuttal with the dumb stuff you said.
Fall off.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what we want people to see. Like, this is not scripted. We do this live.
Right.
So, like, whatever these girls say, it's
what they're saying.
It's what they're saying.
These are their thoughts. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody. A lot of times, not even just with dating, people have so many unexamined thoughts and beliefs that they just run with that are not their own. Like, they heard it from somewhere,
right?
And they just
run with it without even doing their own research.
Yeah, and then when you confront them with something opposing that view, or even questioning why they think that, they freak out. Right.
That's just the world we live in. Most people don't do their research; they just go based off hearsay or she say. But all in all, like, what me and Cooley talk about is stuff that we've experienced,
right,
on our own.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? On top of educating ourselves, watching, other podcast materials.
Right.
And just
I think it's a good learning experience, even just,
especially for guys.
Yeah, sure. I think for everybody, even like you doing the podcast, it's much different than you just going about your life with these thoughts. It's examining them even further when you have to then express them out loud and try to challenge people on them, because now you need to know it. You need to know it.
Yeah.
And you're working through those ideas still and formulating your thoughts and positions as you're speaking them. And then, you might slip up, or you wish you had said something different that you remember later, and you're like, next time I go over that, I have to refine it a little bit.
And that's why not everybody can, do a podcast about dating and relationships, because if you don't have the experience or the knowledge, how could you even challenge anything a girl says? Because, if you don't know anything and a girl is expressing to you how she feels about dating and what a man should do, what a woman should do, and it may be wrong or it may be unfair, you're going to be easily manipulated, and you're going to get taken to the cleaners during divorce or just in a relationship in general. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, like, not only does a podcast help guys, but also helps women, because we're telling women exactly how most men think, and with that knowledge, they should, take that into consideration and use that in their dating experience. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it is? Most women are lied to. When a lot of us guys, including me, lie to women to get what we want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
when we're single, at least.
That's been part of the culture that we grew up in the dating scene, as we're like dating for sport.
Right.
And that was kind of what you did. Not that everybody lied, but everybody is presenting their best selves. Correct. They're saying the things that they think the other person will like to hear, without the intention of something long term. Right.
And don't get me wrong, there's guys that want more than just sex, and there's guys that just want sex. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for women to differentiate the two. They can't tell, which guys wants them for long term or which guys wants them for short term, because a guy will see a woman that he just wants for short term, but he'll make it seem like he wants to date her long term.
Right.
So, like, at the same time, you can't even blame women for falling for the okie doke, but then again,
just like anything else. I mean, I guess there are temp agencies and jobs and stuff like that, but most people, if they're looking for a job and they're like, we're gonna fire you next week, you're gonna be like, I kind of want a job longer for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not going to be presented that like, hey, I'm going to leave you in a week or something like that. Most people aren't going to say that. I mean, even though I think the dating field is more fast and loose than ever probably now.
Okay.
Yeah. So how? What's your where I think it needs to, I don't know, not need to change, but people need to change in their long-term expectations and realizing that what we have done and the culture that is built off of everybody's collective actions that is not good. Yeah. And you should try to make that change.
In today's dating market, I say it's easier to have sex than get a long-term relationship.
Sure, I believe that.
It's easy to get sex compared to just getting a long-term relationship in this dating market now.
Yeah, and that's the easy thing. That's the easy thing. The hard thing is staying committed, working towards marriage. And I'm married now, by the way.
Right.
So, and in my opinion, it's a better option than dating around.
Being married?
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree, because yes, men cheat. Men been known for cheating since the beginning of time. But in 2026, most women are giving up on their relationships. You know what I'm saying?
I think most, not to just, I don't want to do the not all. Most people in general, like guys too. Guys are black-pilled about relationships.
Of course.
Women are black-pilled about relationships.
But when a man decides to give a woman a long-term committed relationship, we're usually all in. We're all in. Men, we love hard. And I think that men love for real. And men are willing to go through the ups and downs and we tend to see things through. Whereas in today, women are not willing to see things through. They're quick to leave. They're quick to, not try to work things out and compromise. I think women are selfish. You know what I'm saying? Because once you decide to jump in a relationship, it's no longer about your needs. It's not.
Sure.
It's not just about your needs. It's about your partner's needs as well.
Sure.
And women are going into relationships. Hey, look, I need this from you, and I need that from you, and you need to meet these requirements. And if you don't, I'm out. Okay, that's fine, but you also need to meet my requirements as well.
Yeah.
You also need to check the boxes off my list as well. You know what I'm saying? And women don't even go into dating thinking that. They go into thinking about, okay, he's not giving me what I want, then I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I think that's very an immature relationship. I mean, I guess there's a period in every relationship that is going to be immature until you mature in your relationship and you start actually working towards goals as a team.
Right.
And in order to get there,
right.
you have to stay committed.
But the hard part is women have so many options. Social media made women think that they could have damn near any guy. And women,
cocaine's way funner than heroin, I guess. I don't know.
And women tend to think that the grass is greener on the other side, not realizing the grass is greener wherever you water it. Don't get me wrong. Don't stay in a relationship if you're being cheated on, if you're being physically abused, you know what I'm saying, or if you're being verbally abused. No, leave that. But if you're just dealing with your everyday disagreement that every couple goes through, work it out and see it through, and that's what most women aren't doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying guys are perfect, but women are doing the majority of the breaking up. Women are initiating the majority of the divorces.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just in my opinion, women expect the honeymoon phase to last forever. And that's not realistic at all.
People have to be willing to see through not just bad days. You might have a bad 2 years. You know what I mean?
Right. If it's just your regular, because every couple argues, avoiding an argument in a relationship is inevitable. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to compromise and be mature about handling conflict, then you should not be in a relationship because
I don't think, a lot of people don't know how to handle conflict either.
Maturely.
Right.
But that's the biggest thing. Is that men and women aren't. Most women aren't willing. Most women aren't willing to compromise, and they're not willing to work things out. And in my opinion, they're very selfish and they're very self-centered. Now, if you are the guy that meets the majority of, the things he's looking for in a man, then she will be that perfect girlfriend, that perfect wife you want her to be. But that's why we always tell guys hey, look, you have to be your best self, be in the best shape, make sure you can make as much money as you can, make sure you groom yourself very well. You know what I'm saying? Hold yourself, to a high standard, be confident, because once you have these things, women will respect that and will respect you, and they will look at you as a guy worth keeping.
Yeah, you have to hold yourself
right,
and you have to be the leader. You have to assume the responsibilities that you need to, and actually follow through on things. And everybody has to be all in, and you can't just get yourself into something and then let yourself go physically, mentally, or give up on your job or whatever it is that you're doing. You need to be working towards some goal as a man for yourself, and then also your family should also be working towards things also. Right. But you also need your own identity as a man and things that you want to accomplish in life for yourself.
Because if a woman sees that you're financially stable amongst the other things that I've listed, then they'll do everything in their power to keep that relationship. So sometimes men, we mess up during the relationship and the woman leaves us. So sometimes it is our fault. And if you're a guy out there and a woman breaks up with you, you gotta have to take a look in the mirror and realize, what did you do wrong? Did you behave in a manner where she didn't like?
Right.
And
because there's communication differences
right,
between
because
us.
sometimes guys do things and they don't realize what they're doing is turning her off.
Right. Because you're trying to, we all fall into it where we're like speaking to your girl or your wife or whoever it is the same way you would try to talk to your boy, and it doesn't work the same. But you think that's normal and they should react the same way anybody else would, and they don't.
Yeah, because honestly, like, most men aren't good with women. Most men aren't good with women. Most men aren't confident enough, to approach a woman and, be able to hold a conversation and, get her. And guys can be socially awkward and guys say dumb stuff. So in that aspect, I understand why women, reject a lot of guys, because some guys are just dumb. And
sure, and they're supposed to be rejecting most of them. Right.
Because not every man is worthy. No. That's just facts. Not every man is worth submitting to. So that's why me and Cooley, we always say you got to become the best version of yourself. You got to looks max, like Clavicular says. And make sure your money's right, your health is right, your physical, appearance is right. But also, women need to do the same, because women aren't taught how to be the perfect woman for a guy. They aren't taught what men look for in a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want a woman to sleep around. That's basic stuff. We want a woman to be loyal. We want a woman to respect us. Most guys don't care that a woman works, especially if they're not rich.
Right.
Because most couples,
we understand the economy, right?
Right. We get that. Like, trust me, because if every man that was in a relationship was rich, he wouldn't want to go to work. But that's not the society we live in.
If we can do it, we'll do it.
Right. But if we can't, and that's the thing that bothers me. It's just like, a lot of these women have these ridiculous expectations. Like, I want you to pay all my bills. Like, but I only make $80K a year, and that's not bad money. But like,
no, it's still good. And then you're going to have to make sacrifices. Like, I don't want to put too much of my own business out there, but
yeah,
we made a compromise in where we live and what we're doing and our values. And, I said, I was like, we might get to a point where in our lives where maybe you don't have to work, or you could work part-time somewhere in order for us to afford the lifestyle we want to live. But if you want a bigger house or things like this, then obviously the both of us are going to have to work, because this is what I make, this is what you make. We can do that both together, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that, we're going to be in this position for, however long till our circumstances change. Or if you don't want to go so hard working, we have to downsize our lifestyle.
Right.
And that might be something people actually really have to talk about if that's in their values, where they don't want their woman to work, or the woman doesn't want to work.
Right. And I don't think some women understand that. Like women now, they're on social media, so they see these lives that these women are
fake.
living, and it's just like, they want that too, which is fine.
We all do,
Yeah, you can want whatever you want, but how do you can't go around dating a regular guy that makes average money and expect him to pay for your plane ticket and his plane ticket and the hotel and the food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And paying for park. It's just not realistic. So, and because he can't do that, he's not ambitious. He's not worth settling down with. You know what I mean? He's not, quote unquote, a real man because he can't provide.
Right.
No, he can provide for himself, but,
it's double then, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So just because a man can't, get you on a yacht or pay for your plane ticket and his plane ticket to Croatia and on top of the hotel and food, that doesn't mean he's not an ambitious guy. It's just, women think it's so easy to make $100K a year.
No, like
Like,
that's another thing that I don't get. Like I see that like it's not necessarily a meme, but I see the clips where they're like, oh, the guy has to make this amount. I'm like, who's making that? Where are these jobs that? And not only just the clips, I see some cars people are driving. Everybody has a fucking Bronco. I'm like, what jobs are these people working that everybody has a Bronco? They're expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Even Jeep Wranglers, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
newer ones, you know, like even old used Jeep Wranglers are expensive.
I know.
We're talking like a cheap Wrangler that is used is $25,000.
That's not bad. I wish.
Well, it's probably more now.
I just had to get a new car, and what I'm paying now is disgusting.
Right.
It's like, and this is not like it's not a luxury car.
You know, and a lot of women are working, and that's dope. A lot of women are making good money, and a lot of women are graduating college, which is all great things. But you know, one of the biggest arguments that we make is that, you know, men, you know, don't want a boss babe or whatever, or a woman that's making a lot of money. And it's not because we're insecure, because that's their talking point. Oh, men are insecure. They don't want to date a woman that makes a lot of money. It's not the case. It's just that when women make a lot of money, they're not the nicest people to deal with. You know what I'm saying? They're really not. Like when women have leverage, they're the devil, bro.
It comes out. The thing too is like if this is going to be the dynamic, you need to temper your expectations. I'm saying for women and men too. If she's making more than you, I say all the time, okay. However you talk to your boss, you should also speak that same way to me. Not necessarily like do everything I say,
but have
not
that
snap.
But have
that level of respect.
Yep, I agree.
Because you know, you're supposed to love your man more than your boss.
Exactly.
Most of the time, your boss isn't even the guy who pays you; it's the company. So, like, why be on? And you should be too. You should listen to your boss. But you walk on eggshells for your boss, and then you give your man the riot act, and it's like, and we're supposed to be on it. You know, and of course, there's always. It's a slightly different dynamic, but try to keep that same level of respect.
Like, because for example, we had a girl on the podcast. She's an RN now, and when she was in nursing school, she was dating a guy, and he was paying, you know, for everything. And then once she got her nursing degree and started making more money than him, all of a sudden she's telling him, you know, he needs to step his game up.
Right.
He's not ambitious. Like, lady, he was paying for your living. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was paying your cost of living while you go to school, and now you make more money than him. All of a sudden, he ain't good enough.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that guys have. Men aren't insecure with women that make more money. We just don't like the fact that you're gonna belittle us and be condescending because you make more than us. There's a difference when a man makes more money compared to when a woman makes more money. When a woman makes more money, she wants to be independent from a man. When a man makes more money, he wants to take care of a family and start one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest thing that men have with women that make money, especially women who are bosses, CEOs. Like, they have a lot of masculine traits, because in order for you to be a boss or a CEO, you're constantly dealing with cutthroat people in the business field, and you have to be that way.
Sure.
Because
it's not a natural environment for them. It's not necessarily that a lot of women want to do.
Right.
My wife doesn't necessarily want to be in those positions. She's in a supervisory position.
Right.
But, you know, they're not really, most of them aren't really super ambitious. Like, they're not working towards being the CEO.
Right.
Or starting their own company of whatever said, even the same job that you work, whoever, you understand, somebody started that business. You could, if it's something like that, you can start your own of that.
Exactly. And that's really what it boils down to, because I don't care if a woman makes more money than me, but if we're gonna date and now you're gonna be condescending and tell me that I need to step my game up and I'm not ambitious, then I don't want to date you, because I'm doing well. I have no problem taking care of myself. I live alone. I pay all the bills. I don't need a woman to do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? So like, and they don't even like think about it. If a man how do you know like the man wasn't making $50K and now this year he's making $80K? You know what I mean? It's not ambitious. Like we actually go on the podcast. I said, if you're in a relationship and you have your own place and your man has his own place, do you expect him to pay your bills?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, there's just so much complication in
Right.
the culture and the world that we currently live in that there's just like infinite issues you have to tackle.
Yes. And it's just unfair, because if you're an adult woman and you live alone and your man lives alone, you guys have your own separate place.
Well, back in the day, that wasn't even like a
thing. It wasn't.
There was no like a woman didn't have like their own place.
Right. They couldn't even, when they got married, they couldn't even accrue debt. It was all on the husband. They weren't allowed to accrue debt either, And we should go back to those times, honestly, because women, were way more submissive and, they were way more loving and they stayed in relationships way longer. And to be honest with you, even though women work and they have their own jobs, most women low-key don't want to work because there's women right now that have good jobs and make good money
sure,
and still want their man to pay for everything. Like, what are you even working for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
everybody has their own situation, but I think probably a good majority, if given the choice, they wouldn't.
Too many unrealistic expectations from women because men were simple. All we want is for you to not be a hoe, be respectful, give us sex, cook for us, and be loyal. And we're gonna be happy. And that's after we find you attractive. Now, if you work and you have your own money, that's a plus. You know what I mean? So, like, guys, we never ask for much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, women are never satisfied. That's why I tell people that are in relationships, happy relationships at that, whether you're married or not, to stay in those relationships and make it work because you are not missing out on anything. I tell guys, I said, look, the women are having sex like there's no tomorrow. And if I were to tell women, I'd be like, hey, look, guys have multiple women, so you would, as a woman, you would have to stand out and offer that man something that he's not getting from the next girl outside of vagina.
Yeah,
because
it's going to take, the way everything is now, it's going to take a lot of things to change culturally.
Yeah.
And all, that starts in everybody's individual lives. And one of the most important things is to have shared values and shared goals.
Yeah.
So, if people have a strong belief in God and that of religious morality of some fashion, that's going to help tremendously in staying together and making it work. So if you don't have that, it's probably going to be more difficult. You're making things harder for yourself.
And not too many, people, men and women, are religious, that go to church and or do Bible study. Because if you believe in God, without God, your relationship is gonna struggle to last. But if you don't believe in God, then just completely ignore everything I just said.
I didn't used to, so and my life reflected it.
Right. But teach us all. Obviously we have free will. You can do what you want, but from a religious aspect, the Bible, will tell you how a man to treat his wife and how a wife should treat her man, and and how they should put God first. And when you put God first, your relationship has a higher chance of lasting. Your life will improve. Because honestly, like a statistical fact, couples that get married, through the church, that involve, God, their marriages tend to last longer, and the divorce rates are lower compared to secular marriages.
Yeah.
That's an actual fact. So secular meaning you don't believe in God. So if you got married, regularly, not believing in God and not having a priest do it and not doing it in a church, those marriages, don't last long, and there's a higher.
Then it's just paper.
It's a higher divorce rate compared to people who got married in a church with a priest, believing in God, etc. Right. Those marriages last way longer.
Yeah, and I believe in our vows and what we said in those, and that's the commitment that I adhere to. When you actually do believe that, your life will reflect it, and you hope your relationship will, will reflect it.
Marriage is a wonderful thing. Let me make that very clear. Marriage, is a great thing. There's nothing wrong with getting married. The issue is
getting to that point. you have to run through the jungle to get there.
The issue is it's just that with women today, who most of them don't exercise what the Bible teaches. Those women aren't the ones worth marrying, because as you can see, the divorce rate is high. 56% of marriages end in divorce rate, end in divorce, and 80% of those people initiating divorces are women. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that, your marriage won't last long. Anything is possible through God.
The numbers are just scary.
Exactly. It's like, why would you want to get married when you see the divorce rate crazy? But, you may be that guy that got lucky, or, that found a great woman who has great morals and great values and that believes in God. And
you got to find it. Like,
it's possible.
Nobody really, some people are the recluse, alone their entire lives type people. Yeah. But most people aren't that. And they want somebody to grow old with and or start a family with. And so if you're not that guy that's going to be the monk in the woods by yourself, most people don't want that. So, you got to strive towards committing, and you have to make the commitment.
I would argue most people want to be in love and find their person, guys and girls, men and women. There's a lot of guys that actually want to be in a relationship. There's a lot of guys that just want a girl. Not too many guys want to sleep around and have all the girls.
Right.
There's a percentage of those guys, but there's a more higher percentage of guys that just want a girl and just settle down and have kids and live happily ever after.
And you just got to make the commitment. Like, I used to think when I was younger that girls had this fantasy of like the Cinderella story,
right?
And I think that's more so guys now. Guys have like an inverse,
flipped, have like because now women are acting like story. Guys now. Women are sleeping around like crazy, dude.
And dudes are like, oh, I wish I had the princess. My princess will come.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
It totally switched. I'm telling you, I'm in the dating scene now. These girls are sleeping around like there's no tomorrow. And they're doing it on the first date, bro. On the first date. You know what I mean? Like, the roles has completely changed. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still some good girls out there. I don't want the all police to come at me. You know what I'm saying?
I can't hear any of this.
But the majority of women, they're not trying to settle down until they're in their late 20s, early 30s. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I did that. We did that. We're old. We're washed. Don't get old and washed. Don't waste your years. It sounds fun. It's not fun. And, maybe for a little bit there's fun aspects.
Because this is what happens.
But ultimately you will end up sad. Don't end up sad.
This is what happens, because like a lot of girls, they want to spend their early 20s, where they're
partying, and the time goes fast.
Yeah, where they're partying and they're sleeping with multiple guys. Like,
all of a sudden, 10 years pass.
Yeah, having a whole phase is a thing, bro. And girls should even be having a whole phase. Like, you should be more, just that should be like your treasure. Like, guard it. Don't give it up so easily. Because, men don't respect that. Most men, I'm not all, but most men don't respect that. Because, look, okay, this is what the women are doing, right? After high school, they go to college, and instead of finding that perfect guy that meets the requirements, they just rather sleep around.
Right. And
have fun. And then they want to wait until they're, late 20s, early 30s, where
to start looking,
where the eggs.
That's gonna take years now.
And what they do is they when they get to their late 20s, early 30s, they start to rush the whole having a family process, because they know that their eggs are
right.
And
then
limited.
You're coming up on more difficulties, because now you're meeting guys, and now the guys are like, hey, slow down, settle
Exactly.
down, and they're like, come get the fuck with it, buddy.
Right.
And we're like, wait a minute, and
And what they don't
more
understand,
difficult.
what they seem to forget is, man, we prioritize looks first. So the older you get, your looks are gonna slowly diminish. You know what I'm saying? And
Not mine. I'm 30 still. I'm still in my 30s.
Well, women. I'm talking about women's looks. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, and it's just like, ideally, a woman should look for that husband material guy when she's in her early 20s. Especially if she wants kids. If you don't want kids, then don't even listen to this. But if you're a woman that wants,
I think like intersexual dynamics, not like sex ed in school. People that should be being taught how to interact with one another healthily in relationship dynamics, not like how pregnancy goes, or how to have sex. It's like, okay, can we teach the kids what a healthy family dynamic should look like? Like, we know how it goes.
that's the thing.
They push sociology and therapy all crazy, and then you're supposed to learn that in your 20s.
Yeah, a lot of
you
us
should know that.
A lot of people
growing
haven't had a good example of what a healthy relationship looks like.
right. But even when you do have an example, I had a fine example. My parents
Right.
stayed together until I was 30,
Right.
29, 30.
Right.
So my whole life I seen it, but I didn't learn how to like be in a relationship.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Most guys haven't.
Yeah.
So that's something we have to learn through trial and error. But but women, it's just best, to find that if you're a woman that wants to get married and have kids, and you're at your peak when it comes to looks, and you're getting all the attention as it is, pick the right guy that's financially stable, that has his crap together, that can take care of you, and you lock him down, because you're going to get older and you're not going to be as desirable, so your options are going to diminish. Your options for long-term relationship are going to diminish, but your sexual options will still be there, because all guys want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? And women, they realize it too late sometimes. Now you're 30 or in your 30s.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be the old. You don't want to be the old guy in a club. You don't want to be the old girl in a club.
Exactly. You don't.
Or at the bar, wherever you partake.
And what guys need to understand is, the older the woman gets, the more sexual partner she has, which means the less likely she'll be able to stay in a committed relationship, because most women don't choose good guys. You know what I'm saying? And the older they get, it's guaranteed.
Well, they
that
say it ruins your pair bonding. So
that also, but what it also does is, like, since most women don't choose the perfect partner for them, they end up being scarred and damaged, because they've dated a guy that either abused them,
right.
They were already sexually assaulted, they had a whole bunch of bad experience with men, so now their outlook on men is straight negative. So when they finally, and they've been in toxic relationships, so when they finally meet a guy, who's mature and knows how to handle conflict very well,
then it's boring.
Then he's boring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we always say,
burnt out your synapses.
Right. So that's why we say, guys, ideally it's best to date women 26, between the ages of 21 and 26, because women at those ages, they haven't had too many bad experiences with men. So when they do meet a good guy, they're more likely to stay in that relationship because of the lack of bad experiences they had.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why and we always say in the space, don't date these older chicks, because a lot of them aren't emotionally stable, because they've been scarred and screwed over so many times. So that's why I think that we should bring back where the father
had to approve.
Yeah, find the husband.
Yeah, and that takes, even to have that available as an option, you have to have families
right.
together.
And unfortunately, a lot of girls don't have their dads in their lives, or a good example. So it's kind of sucks.
Right. So it's going to take a collective culture change for a lot of these things to change. So yeah, there's guys have to get hip to the game now and what they should be doing. And, women also, there might be a lost generation of women, but the next generations coming up, I feel like we, in a lot, not just in dating, just in the changes in the world in general, we kind of got left to dry. Like, our parents didn't warn us, like, that the economy we once knew was going to not exist.
Do you think that they knew though? Do you think they knew?
No, because they were tapped out. They were in their lives. A lot of the generation before us, their marriages are divorced. So they were dealing with their own shit the whole time. They weren't able to like step back and look at the world from more of a bird's eye view, like a lot of us have been able to, because we have more time. Like me and you, we don't have kids, so it's like we're not like tending to the wife and kids constantly. Go to work, wife, kids, go to work, wife, kids, go to work, wife, kids. They don't have time to step back and like look at society. Right.
and me not having kids, helps me do that. Let's take a step back and look at society. This is unfortunate because there's a lot of single moms, but unpopular opinion, the dating scene is trash because of women. The dating scene is trash because of women. Women don't understand how much power they have in dating. If all women were to say, "Hey, look, we're gonna wait till we get married before we have kids and before we have sex," then guys would have no choice but to follow suit. Women control the dynamics of dating, and they don't even realize how much power they have. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's even a further problem that there is a dating market at all. Like the whole scene of dating implies that there's a market. There was no like dating market before when people stayed in marriages. It's like guys and girls like went to separate schools. Like you didn't even like really interact with the other sex until like you were like introduced to a good girl, or a girl was introduced to like a good guy through like their family or the church or their community at some point. And then it was like, oh, that's like the girl in my town. And then it's like, hey, you have socks or something. I don't know. Yeah, and it's like, let's get married forever then. How about that?
I blame social media too, because like you said, back in those times, everybody dated, whoever was in that town.
Right. High school sweethearts.
Right. Or they knew they had a mutual friend, that knew.
Right. Through community. So you need to first establish community, which is no longer really a thing.
Yeah. And that's what makes dating so hard too, because the thing is like
we're in the times that we're in. It's like we can't snap our fingers and make it fucking 1950 again.
But that's why men for today, that's why men have to be the best version of themselves, because women are sleeping with the guys that.
Sure, well they'll follow suit eventually.
Yeah, because women are sleeping with the guys that they feel is the top guy. That's doing the best, and they only want the best. You know what I'm saying? Women are hypergamous; they date up, and there's nothing wrong with that, because women are the weaker sex physically. So it's important for a man, to be financially stable and to be, capable of protecting his woman. Especially once he's pregnant. Because that's when she's the most vulnerable.
And there's another, there's a modern delusion in that of the times we live in, because we created a mostly safe society already.
Yeah, right. And it's crazy because women don't even feel safe. I'm like, the popular debate is, they're asking a woman.
Oh, the bear thing. That's crazy.
It's just like, who would you rather be stuck in the woods with, a random man, or a bear? And a lot of women are choosing the bear. And I'm like, yo, look, like you ladies are on a podcast. I don't think they've
ever seen a real bear.
Right? Like, do you know, like he will kill you? Like he is not domesticated.
Like 20 feet tall. Like bears are fucking huge.
Like they're not domesticated at all. They're not like cats.
It's not Yogi Bear.
Yeah, it's so.
This thing is gigantic.
Because women are saying they don't feel safe, because they got to worry about men attacking them. But based off statistics, men have a higher chance of being attacked by a random dude compared to a woman, because we as men put consequences on other men who try to harm women.
Right. But men have never been raped by another man in the alley.
That is true.
That doesn't really happen.
That is true. That is very true too. I'm not saying men don't assault women. Let me make that very clear. There are some piece of crap men out there.
If that was like a legitimate threat,
right,
I would also be scared.
Me too.
Of being raped in the alley.
Me too. And that's why women have to move quick. Don't get me wrong. There are guys that are a piece of crap.
Sure.
That's why men that are in a relationships, like there's guys that don't want their girls going out with their girlfriends and going places without them, and they think because he's insecure, he doesn't want me dressing like this or dressing like that. And it's not because we're insecure.
It's a protective thing.
It's a protective thing. If you're my girlfriend and you're gonna go out to the bar or the club, you're
in an unsafe environment.
Yeah, as it is, you're wearing not only you're wearing a skimpy outfit revealing a lot. One, men, we know that there are guys that are a piece of crap that will try to approach you or physically touch you inappropriately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we know that there are a piece of crap men out there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously, like, you can only do so much, but, like, minimize the risk of that happening by dressing appropriately.
Potential problems then, too.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, you know what I mean? Because now I got to come through. I got to grab the gun. You know what I'm saying? I got to beat this guy up because he touched you inappropriately. You know what I mean? And he's not being respectful. And it becomes this whole ordeal.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with insecurity. It's all about safety. When a guy really likes or loves his woman, he's going to set, boundaries, but it's to protect her. You know what I'm saying? And we all know, like, when women go out in groups.
And sure, there might be situations where that is tolerable, but it depends on the place and the situation, the environment you're in, who you're with, what exactly you're doing, how you present yourself. So you have to come up with a compromise, especially if you're a couple that likes to party and go out.
Yeah,
you need to have these standards set, and
now some women do respect it, but some don't, and the ones that don't respect it, they just call it insecurity, and it's really not. We're really just protecting y'all, because when a man loves his woman, he wants to protect her from everything. Like, we will die for our lady. You know what I mean? Men go to war over women. You know what I'm saying? That's how much we care and love the women that's in our lives. And if only women could just see that, and be more understanding, things would be all right. Like, guys, I don't want their girls to go out, to the club with their girls, because we know men.
A lot of girls don't want their man to come to podcasts in skimpy shorts.
With their legs out.
Right.
With, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's
thighs
crazy.
all out.
Yeah, with their thighs all out.
I'm looking like a thought. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, there's a lot of growing up that needs to happen in the dating scene with men and women. But what I'm saying is, like, women have the power. Women are choosing the wrong guys and then complaining about how all men are crap. A lot of women have a lot of options, and a lot of women knows a guy that would take good care of them and not cheat on them and pay for everything and treat them well, but they don't choose those guys. They call those guys boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like, damn, you being.
I think it is changing.
Yeah.
We're just a lost generation.
Yeah, and it makes dating hopeless, for people that actually want a committed relationship. That's why, like, people that are married and they found their person are lucky as hell. What is the famous question married people get? What is the secret?
Right.
What's the secret? Because everybody would love to, the majority of men and women would love to get married and have kids and find their person, and go on vacations and create memories and take pictures. But
I think it's just don't give up. You just have to keep going no matter what.
Obviously,
you just have to work it out, keep going. You might have to ignore shit. But you got to just keep.
I also think that women are rewarding the wrong guys.
Yeah.
Women are giving the wrong guys the chance. But at the same time, in women's defense, there are a lot of guys that don't take good care of themselves. They don't have good hygiene. They don't make enough money to sustain a family or a relationship. They're just not their best versions of themselves. So I do blame guys too.
Yeah, for sure.
I blame guys too. It ain't really all on women.
There. It's a tough world.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather's brother.
Yeah.
I made a post about it like last month. They just had their, I think it was 75th wedding anniversary.
Oh, see, that's amazing.
They're both 98.
That's amazing.
So that's how you want to be when you get to be 98, if you're lucky enough.
Yeah, to live that long.
And you have somebody there with you through it. That's where you want to be. And in order to get there, you just have to fucking just keep going and stay with it. Stay the course. Don't give up. You don't want to be divorced in your 50s and 60s, and then like you have to find someone again. Then
it's gonna be horrible.
In your 30s and 40s, you're 40 again, like out there. What do you want?
Nobody wants to die alone.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to grow old alone. There's like women that don't want kids, men that don't want kids. I think that they will later on regret it, and if they do regret it, they're not going to tell us. But I think they will. Like I want kids. It's just that it's hard to find a woman who's virtuous, who has morals. And when you do find those women, there's something wrong with them. Like they're emotionally damaged because of their past relationships. And now you're paying for the mistakes that the guys she dated made in the past. Sure. And now that woman is less likely.
But if you find one that you do feel does have morals that you think could be worth it, but she's damaged in some fashion, this is up to you to fix now. Or attempt to fix.
That's the thing. Like most men try to fix women, try to save that girl. But remember,
it's not necessarily saving. But if you feel that there is potential there, then then.
But my point is,
you can unravel that, patch
it's
it
not
up.
as easy, Phaze.
I know it's not easy
because those girls, those damaged girls that had horrible experiences with past relationships where the guy was toxic and he was hitting them, verbally abusive, sexually assaulted, those girls have very little tolerance for any kind of inconvenience in her new relationship with her man that's not doing those things.
Yeah.
That's
why you need to get on the same page, in my opinion. You need to get on the same page with God and, like you said, being the best version of yourself. And when she sees that, hopefully she sees that. If you're working through it together in that fashion, I think that goes a long way.
No, it does. Like there's hope, because anything is possible.
That's just my advice. That's my on the internet advice.
Yeah, it's just dating is just hard. Dating is hard for men and women. It sucks, bro. It's what I mean, like, and the people that. The women that you would take serious, they got something going on with them that you.
Everybody got shit, and it's wrong. We're all fucked up in some fashion, especially at this point in our lives.
Yeah, so. like I'm a guy that wants kids, and I would love to have kids with a woman that doesn't have kids.
Sure.
And there's a lot of single mothers out there.
Yep.
Because I just want that first experience to be with a woman who doesn't have kids, so we can have that first shared experience. Now, after I have a kid, and if for some reason it doesn't work out, then I'd be open. Then I would date women.
Well, you have to get that out of your mind.
What?
The secondary experience.
Yeah.
You don't want that secondary experience, so you're already setting yourself up for failure in your mind.
About the relationship not working out if I have a kid with a woman that doesn't have a kid.
Yeah.
You know what?
You have to be like happily aloof. Like you can keep that in your mind.
You know why I say that?
Your mind. Somewhere, but you have to like hide it in a drawer. You have to hide that thought in a drawer.
I say that because women come into relationships ready to leave.
Sure.
All
I know,
of them.
but you have to be. But if that makes you also have one foot out the door, that takes both of her feet out the door.
Yes.
You got to stand in it completely.
You know what, Phaze? In my personal experience,
and pull her back in the fucking door.
Right, but in my personal experience, like there's times where I've been all in. I'm not saying I was perfect. I'm not saying I didn't make any mistakes, but there's times
sometimes there's unavoidable.
Yeah, I'm just
things.
in general. But there's times where I was all in and still didn't work, still didn't last.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I was perfect, I did everything right, but like I'm all in, meaning I'm willing to go through hell and back, willing to, work through any and every argument or disagreement, and I'm just willing to just be there. But at the end of the day,
You have to keep that attitude.
at the end of the day, women are always ending the relationships, man. They come in a relationship ready to leave. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be all in if she's just gonna eventually leave. That's my attitude, Phaze.
Well, you'll get over that.
Why
You gotta get over
be
that.
emotionally fully invested if you're just gonna leave? Like, I'm not saying I'm not gonna date you. I'm not gonna get in a relationship with you. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna have kids with you if the opportunity presents itself and you meet the requirements that I'm looking for in a woman. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Like, in my head, I'm going in. All right, it's gonna be a matter of time till she leaves. But if I have all my ducks in order, it's gonna prolong.
That's gonna affect
Then-
your being thinking like that. This is what I mean. It's like there was.
I had too many bad experiences, Phaze. So right now,
Hey.
I have no hope, Phaze.
I was there at one point in my life too.
I have no hope.
I was there too. Trust me. I know the feeling.
I was dating a girl that I really, really liked, that I thought I was gonna marry and have kids with. The whole nine, ready to go through hell and back and everything. And I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I didn't cheat or whatever. That's what I mean. I didn't hit her or whatever. I wasn't going to be abusive. But, the girl was just quick to leave, emotionally unstable. You know what I'm saying? And not willing to, deal with whatever comes with relationships. And the crazy thing is, like, we spoke about, hey, look, because we're imperfect, every relationship is going to be arguments. It's going to be conflict. How do we deal with that?
Right.
And I'm asking her this while everything is going well, because I wanted it to work that bad.
Well, that all gets thrown out the door once a problem happens. So.
And that's exactly what happened, because she's on board with me. She's like, yeah, when we get into arguments, let's make sure we handle like this. Let's do this, do that. And I'm like, yes, I think I found something good.
But the thing is,
and it still failed.
You never. This is the thing too that I've learned. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to put my business out there, but like me and my wife, we have different, let's say, argumentative styles, or the way our temperament is in an argument. I try to fix a problem like immediately. Like, I'm quick to apologize for the most times, I guess, if you want to say.
Yeah.
But I want to solve it fast, because over time I get more angry.
Okay.
She gets angry, really angry fast, and calms down. So it doesn't work all the time that we like separate from each other, leave each other alone for a little bit, and then come back and talk about it. That's the best way. But I get more angry as time goes on. So I have to you have to make these compromises what works the best between.
Right. Because, man, we're problem solvers. I'm like that. If I have a problem with the girl I'm dating, right then and there, I want to fix it right then and there.
Right. And they don't want to.
And they don't want to. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to linger into a day or two or three. No, I want to fix it right
I start forgetting what exactly happened, who said what first.
And women don't
don't
let things go. So like that's the main reason why I want to fix it right then and there. Because you're gonna get over it, but you're gonna hold it over my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not really fully getting over.
So you just might need to settle down for 20 minutes or something like that.
Something.
Just leave it and come back.
But honestly, Phaze, that's my attitude.
That's what we
now.
try to do. It doesn't always work, but
yeah, that's just my attitude now. Like, women are always ready to leave, so it's just like I'll continue to date, and if I meet a girl that likes me and I like her, and she wants to be in a relationship and wants all those good stuff, I'll give it to her. But I just don't see myself fully emotionally investing myself into that, because I've done it before a few times and it didn't work out. So your boy's a little hopeless, man.
yeah, you could always try guys.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'd rather go MGTOW. I'd rather go my own way. But Matt, so let me ask you, how long have you been married?
When did we get married? In 2022? So going on 4 years. It'll be 4 years this July.
So, what is advice you can give to couples now that they can use to help keep their marriage going? Like, what is the best way for a couple to handle any kind of conflict, in your opinion?
I mean, for me, it all depends. It really depends on your partners. Yeah.
Okay.
Like whenever like me and my brother would get in a fight when we were kids, my mom would always like make us come up with a list of 5 things we would have done differently to avoid the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like ingrained in my mind.
Yeah.
Whenever something goes wrong, I'm like, why did this happen?
Okay.
What could I have done differently? Or what could you have done differently for us to not even be fighting right now?
So what would you tell people in relationships or married couples? What would you tell them on what to do to keep the relationship alive, to keep wanting to be with that person? Like, what do they have to do, men and women, to,
like I said, I just think you have to be fully committed. You have to believe in your commitment and your relationship, and especially if you're married, your vows to God and what that means. You have to fully believe what it means.
Okay.
It is for better or worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything if the worst times come and then you're like, I'm out.
Because nowadays, most women, Phaze, they're getting married for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, they're in their late 20s, early 30s. They don't have kids, and now they're rushing to have kids in a family and marriage, and they're doing it because they don't want to be alone, or they just want the financial stability.
Those are like legitimate things people want in their life too.
Okay, but hold on. But like, if I'm gonna marry a woman, don't get me wrong. As a man, you are supposed to be financially stable. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to take care of yourself. And if you want a family, and if you want to get married, you should have the finances to be able to
sure, but
stabilize a family and a
shit
relationship.
happens too. It's not only for better or worse. There's always for richer and poorer.
Right. I want to get that out the way.
Yeah.
But I don't want to marry a woman that only wants to marry me because she doesn't want to be alone and she just wants to be taken care of. Like, I want her to like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I am financially stable and I am able to take care of you and protect you. But I don't want that to only be the reason why you married me. I want you to actually like me and be around me. You think I'm funny or have a good characteristic trait.
She's gonna like something about
what
it.
I'm saying is there are women out there that are married for the wrong reason. They just want to be taken care of and they don't want to be lonely. That's it.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this. And I'm not shitting on you because I have feminine traits about myself. But that is a feminine thing for you to want the woman, like, for you to stay with them, for you to like, I mean, I'd want that too. Like, I want my wife to genuinely like me and be around me too.
Right.
But that is like a kind of, if that's like something that's holding you back, that's like a feminine thing.
So it's feminine for me. Again, yes, a man should be financially stable to be able to take care of a family and to be able to be in a committed relationship. I agree with that, but I just don't want that to be the only reason you marry me.
Sure.
I want after those.
I think you're prioritizing that before the other things.
Or to like me.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, and then I don't know your mind, but
right.
That's just the vibe that I got right now.
No, because like the reason why I didn't have kids in my 20s. Because I
use condoms sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's debatable. That is debatable. But on a serious note, in my 20s, I wasn't looking to have a family and kids, even though I wanted it, because I wasn't financially stable. So I knew from a young man that I need to, be financially stable, to have a family and kids. Because my parents made great money. My dad gave me everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I had a great childhood. My dad is in my life, and I want to be like my dad. And in my 20s, I wasn't financially stable at all. And my health was not stable for a while in my 20s at all. So I wasn't looking to start a family or to be in a relationship, because my whole thing was I don't want to be a deadbeat dad. I don't want to be that dad that doesn't take care of his kids, that can't afford to pay child support. That's just not there.
Sure.
I don't want to be that guy. Now that I'm older and I'm more financially stable, my health is stable. I'm in decent shape. You know what I'm saying? Like I have the whole provision aspect almost under control.
Yeah, you just got to throw out that
So like now
desire for her to want to like you. Like if you're interesting and doing your thing in your life, she's gonna like you. Don't worry about that. You need to knock that priority back some steps, in my opinion.
No, I mean, well, it's obviously it's up there, but it's not number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's like, a woman should date a guy that's financially stable, because when she gets pregnant, she won't be able to work. So she needs to be able to depend on her man to financially hold things down while she's home for X amount of weeks or months taking care of the kid. I'm on board with that. I have a younger sister. I would tell my sister that exact advice. I just don't want that to be the only reason you married me, because now, what if I'm not a robot? I'm a human being. So what if I can't work? Well, because I got sick or I got injured and I can't pay next month's rent. Yeah. You gonna leave me? You know what I'm saying? Because of that? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like, I want a woman, that wants that marry me because I'm financially stable, I'm in shape, I got my ducks in order, but also because she likes me, because when things go south, because life be lifing, things happen. I want her to be like, you know what? No, he's a good guy. He's a good man. He always takes care of responsibilities. He's just down right now. Let me hold him down until he gets back up on his feet. Sure. That's what I'm talking about. Because there are women that just gold diggers, that just only, all right, if you're not providing, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, and that comes back to shared values and establishing your relationship. Yeah. So. We've been going for a while now.
Yeah.
What is next for you? What are your plans in this age of the internet?
I would like to start my own podcast. I've been looking into that. I do plan on making, I do want to make appearances on other podcasts just to get better at speaking and just to get better at, being a quote unquote podcaster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cooley and I, we are planning to travel some more and to do more podcasting and, meet some dope people. So that's good experience for me to get my feet wet. But I'm thinking about moving too.
You should just start doing little streams. Like, you don't necessarily have to start a full-blown podcast.
Right.
Just like whenever you have some thoughts about something, just go on a little rant, and that'll help you build up to finding what you like to talk about yourself, and then you can transition into.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Your own thing.
I mean, I do have,
even if. You'll find out even if you like doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might do that and be like, I'm cool with being the B mic or doing something entirely different, or you just might be like, fuck this shit, I'm doing something completely else.
Yeah.
Or doing scripted videos or something like that, or doing your own content.
You know what it is? I just want everything to be perfect. So it's just like,
well, yeah, just start doing shit.
Yeah, I gotta. That's my problem, because I overthink. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to. I don't want to look a certain way on the internet. I want to present myself a certain way. So I'm very conscious about what I talk about and what I post. You know what I'm saying? Because I still want to be me.
You have to find that balance.
Yeah.
And you have to be agile so that you can change quickly and make movements. Like if something's not working,
right,
be able to transition into, like, if the streams are looking crazy, whatever it is, don't be so attached to it that you go down in flames with that. Be like, okay, that didn't work, I'm going on to the
next one. Right.
So
no, that's definitely a good idea. I'm definitely gonna do that,
but you just got to do shit or else you won't.
Yeah, because that's my issue right there. I overthink, because there's things that I want to go on a rant about, but then again, I don't want to look a certain way. But I got it. That's one thing. That's an issue I have to deal with on my own. So, but I'm definitely getting out of my shell more, because I'm not
out of your shell into shorts.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. But when it comes to just my opinions, like, I used to care a lot what people think, and now that I'm getting older, I care less and less, especially being on the podcast. Now I'm more, cavalier about what people think and
Right.
and what I'm posting and my views, because
It's worrying to do shit anymore. You say the wrong thing, you get killed.
Yeah.
You might literally get killed.
People coming for you, destroying you in the comments.
Yeah,
they hate
just
you.
like the slander, the gossip.
Yeah.
It
So
is a lot for
it could be
someone to deal
intimidating, you
with.
know what I'm saying? Because when I first started doing the podcast with Cooley, I was nervous as hell, and I thought that I had to talk like Cooley. Excuse me, and I realized I have to talk like me. You know what I'm saying? So, me being nervous, I would not speak very well, and I would rush and stutter over my sentences, and the comments were destroying me on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but that's because I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? And like we had like 300 people watching, 400, maybe 500 people watching. 6, 7, you know what I'm saying? So it's nerve wracking when you have that many people on you, and it's live.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Just public speaking. People are terrified of public
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah. So it was something I had to get used to. But as I kept doing it, I got way more comfortable in front of the camera and being able to speak, because I wasn't always the best speaker. So I ended up, getting better. I still got, work.
You have to do it. If you take breaks too, you'll lose it. You'll start to get nervous when you do shit.
Yeah.
It's something you have to stay on. You have to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Or else, just like I'm getting back into the swing of things. I went on the podcast, the Dope Individuals podcast should be coming out, I think, next month.
Okay.
But yeah, I got nervous for a second. I was like, damn, I haven't podcasted in a while.
Yeah, it could be nerve wracking, and because the outsiders looking in, they think it's just so easy to do.
No, it's not. It's not that easy.
It's different when you're talking to your boys or your friends, and you don't have thousands of people watching.
Talk to a stranger, keep a conversation.
Yeah,
going.
like that's
keep
easy
a
to do.
conversation going live on camera
It's
and a mic with no breaks.
Exactly. And what makes it intimidating, because we all know that the internet doesn't spare anybody.
No.
They will come for anybody, so you better come prepared if you're gonna be a content creator, because they'll let you know in a heartbeat, hey, you suck, or you don't do this well, you don't
Even
do
if
that
you don't
well.
suck, they'll tell you suck.
That too. So I've gotten better at speaking. I also gotten better at not caring about what people say, because I live in the comments. I always read the comments, but I do appreciate the negative comments, because those people don't lie. If you're lacking in an area, you don't do something well.
I know some liars who be in the comments.
There are some liars. so you gotta learn to decipher who are lying and who's actually telling you the truth.
Right.
And I've gotten better at that. You know what I'm saying? So I always read the comments no matter what, because if I'm doing something wrong, that I'll make sure to fix that in the next episode, because I want to be perfect. I want to do well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, we got you. Tony said you need to be on his podcast.
Tell Tony I would love to be on his podcast. It would have to be on the weekends. That's when I have the most time.
Well, I'll link you.
Yeah. Link me up with Tony. And
but yeah, we'll wrap up. Tell people where to find you and your show and all that good stuff.
So yeah, obviously I'm on the No Fugazee Podcast. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, TikTok. My Instagram is Ease to the World. That's EASE to the World. My YouTube channel is No Fugazee Ease. So that's Fugazi is spelled FUGAZEE, EASE. And yes, I will be putting out more content, and I do plan on getting on other podcasts. So if you have a podcast and you want me on, bro, let's do it.
Hit them up. And yeah, I'll hopefully be back sometime whenever I meet somebody else who I would like to host.
Yeah.
Which is not many people.
Yeah, you're so picky. Yeah, but man, what you got going on here is dope. Spark good conversations, because there's a lot of things that people are very passionate about that they would love to hear other people's opinions on.
I just got to get good at monologuing. I'm not that great at monologuing. I'm pretty good at bouncing off somebody else.
Yeah,
but just like talking to the camera by yourself.
That's my issue.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's my issue. But what I have to do is I got to write down exactly what I want to talk about, and have like key bullet points of what I want to say, and then just go off that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely gonna take your advice. I'm gonna just start recording stuff,
start doing
because
that.
it's so easy to go viral. You know what I mean? People go viral over dumb stuff every time, especially on TikTok.
Yeah.
Do
that shit. Anyway, check them out. Check me out. New album coming soon.